What's going on YouTube? It's your girl Massy, and today it's all about the glutes, the legs, and the core. This happens to be from my glute program that you can find at TRU.TRAINING. So let's stop talking, let's start moving. I'm going to take you through my workouts, and today is going to be a little different. I already took my creatine, I have BCAAs here. Let's have fun today and let's learn a few things. Okay team, so we're gonna start this workout. This is all about the glutes, but as you know, I am the kind of coach that programs around functionality. We're doing 3 sets. I'm gonna attach the repetitions, 8 repetitions on the deficit lunges with the bar, 8 repetitions on the linear step downs, and 8 repetitions of one exercise that I'm continuously talking about, and it looks easy, but this is how we prep the stabilizing muscles and how we create a better connection between our core and our limbs moving, okay? When you are racking the bar and going into this deficit, make sure that you start up warming up. You saw me warming up with the bar, and this, you can actually do it with dumbbells as a regression, and if this is too hard, you can lower the steps. Maybe you're stepping on just a few inches to create a little bit of a deficit, but it's not as deep as all these steps. You can do this body weight, you can do this with dumbbells, or you can advance with something like the bar, all right? With the linear step downs, same thing applies. You can start with one weight. I find that putting the kettlebell in front of me is a lot easier to handle. The goal of this exercise is to step down with your hips nice and neutral, and the only thing that is going to touch the floor is your heel. And you're going to use your hamstrings, your glutes, to stand up, okay? Now, you can also do this holding on to a stable surface, right? So you can put this right beside your rack and control and support yourself. So there's many different ways that you can modify this. You can also make the blocks shorter, all right? Then we're moving on to one of the most underrated exercises that I continue to add to my program. So start in a plank position, and you're going to bring your knees back and fall onto this modified forearm plank. You're gonna push away from the floor with your forearms, and keeping your core engaged and your hips tucked under, you are only going to alternate lifting one hip at a time. So this is the hip extension portion of it. And what you're going to feel here is your obliques alternating one from the right to the left and the left to the right, all right? So you're gonna feel a ton of core, but this is what's going to supplement all the other big lifts, okay? That's the recap. Let's move on to circuit number 2. For the second circuit of this particular workout, we're about to do a movement that is quite difficult for some people. This is why mobility, unilateral stability, it's important, right? The more mobile you are, the better you can move. So we're talking about the counterbalance single leg squat, which I'm going to demonstrate first how to modify it, okay? So there's a few ways that you can modify, and one of them is stacking a few pillows to lessen the range in which you are lowering to the ground, okay? And doing it supported. Find that knee towards the floor. We're using this weight to help us stand, okay? We can also do it supported, where we are really nice and stable here, using a column and lowering ourselves to the mat and finding this arm to help us as much as we can to find the standing position. We're gonna start here. We have 3 sets of 8 repetitions. We're moving on to one exercise that I love a lot for the core function of it. So you know the bird dog, how we start in all fours, we push away from the floor with the heels of the palms, and now we bring one arm and one leg opposite of each other. The arm staying by our ears if we have good mobility, and now we are going to prevent the core from overextending. We're gonna keep this core nice and locked in as we move the arms away from each other, and we are in full hip extension, out and in. We have 8 repetitions. This requires a lot of stability on your core, so your core should be challenged here. Okay. The third movement is one that I really love. We're gonna find a wall, and we are going to step out in a comfortable position where our hips are nice and square, okay? All of my weight is on this front leg while I am pushing that heel towards the wall. So I have this isotonic contraction happening, sort of like mimicking, okay? So you're gonna grab a kettlebell or a dumbbell, and now we are going to pass this around 12 times, hand to hand. Now, if you lose your balance here, it's all right. Now, keep that core nice and square, your hips nice and square. Continue to press that back heel onto the wall and put most of your weight on this front leg. And we're going to switch. You should feel a lot of glute here and hamstring. 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12. Core nice and engaged here. Let's get it. All right, team, so for the third and last circuit, we have 3 back-to-back movements. This has been already prepared, right? And when I say preparation, we prepared you with the wall movement that had you alternating on your hands with the weight. So now we're going to find the same kind of muscles that we did on this leg, and all we're doing is reaching in 3 different directions for 5 repetitions. So that means I am going to reach across, touch that band, reach in the middle, reach outside. That's 3. Let's do that again. 1 and 2 and 3. And 1 and 2. That's 3. And 4. If you lose your balance here, it's okay. And 5. All right, so the second movement to the circuit is one clamshell that I really like, for the mere fact that this is all glute and core and stability of the shoulders. So I'm picking a fairly high resistance band. You don't necessarily have to. If you want to double up on your mat so that it's nice and soft and cuddly for you, you can do that. So now we're going to assume this side plank position that is modified, and we're going to bring our hips up. Now the motion starts with the knee. We're going to push the knee away from the floor as we open up into our clamshell, and we're at the same time pushing away from the floor with the forearm. That's 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we're just gonna repeat with the other side of the body. All right, and look at what happens to the muscles of my back, right? Yes, we are working what we think is the hips and the glutes, but there's still your shoulder, right? We're working on its stability. You can see all these muscles working, right? So when you think of movement, start thinking of movement as one motion of the body. And the third movement is a banana rocker. Now, there's a few ways to modify this. If you cannot rock because you don't have the core strength yet to maintain this position as you rock back and forth, you can hold it. So we're gonna start by tucking our hips under to do this hollow plank upside down banana. This is a gymnastics kind of move, right? We're gonna get the shoulder blades off the floor, and then we're gonna start rocking back and forth for 10. Now, if you want to lock in this movement, I would have you start here. If this is too hard, bring your arms here. If this is too hard, bring your arms here. If this is too hard, bring your legs here, and start practicing by going back through all the stages up until your core has enough muscular endurance to actually maintain that position. Let's go back to number 1. And that is a wrap. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this workout once you try it. If you want to be part of my community, remember, TRU.TRAINING, come on board. Let me know what you want to see next in the comment section below. Thank you so much to the new community that I'm building here. Thank you so much for everyone that comes in just being a positive light. Sending you guys love. I will see you on the next video. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell button. Let's get it.